Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I said that backwards. I messed it up. We're going to do it live, though. We're doing it live.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be this day on this fine, fine planet Earth. Welcome once again to the Holy Forge podcast. I am your host, as always, Vincent. And today I am joined by Sheena. Say hello.
Hey, y'all.
I love the intro. I love it. Just be like, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna do a real good impression of you one day. And people will tune in and be like,
Is that late?
wait, what channel am I on? What is this? What listening to? Oh, man. We were just in here chatting before I started recording for real about some things, life be life. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep transparent with y'all. I've had an interesting past, 16 hours? 20 hours maybe? Almost a full 24 hours. Some stuff happened yesterday, kind of threw me off. Was dealing with it today. Told
Still
Sheena,
making it.
still making it. God's on the throne. I think that's one of the hardest things is like when something happens and then, you get upset, you get sad, whatever it is that you feel, and then being like, okay, what's the lesson from this? And then how do I move forward without, because the whole time I've been thinking, because I've been extremely pissed off. I'm just going to say it. I'm not swearing. I said I was pissed off. I don't think that's a swear word. But I've been extremely upset all day. Yesterday I was so mad I was radiating heat. And I don't ever get that mad. Anyone knows me, I'm pretty even keel. Honestly, it takes a lot for me to get mad. But I was thinking, be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. I'm like, okay, God, how do I do that? Like, is it the sun go down upon my life and I die with anger in my heart still and haven't forgiven folks?
Or is it going to bed tonight?
Yeah, is it going to bed tonight and haven't forgiven folks? Because tomorrow's not promised. So, now as a believer, right, we have the blood, right? So I want anyone listening to think you cannot go to bed angry. I do not believe that's what that scripture is saying, but I do think it's a state of the heart. We should strive to forgive people in our heart, even if we still want to hold them accountable for whatever it is they've done. But forgiveness is important because we were forgiven.
Yeah.
So I have to forgive the people who made me upset yesterday.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily supposed to happen because we are human, right? I don't think it happens in one day. Now, striving towards that and having the conversation or the thoughts in our head like, look, you got to let this go. You know what I'm saying? I got to forgive. I got to move on, right? All of that. To me, that's the striving to do that. But I still don't think that necessarily comes in one day. Only because sometimes the lesson don't even come in one day. Let's be real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is a blessing in the lesson, but in those moments of being upset, sometimes it's hard to sit back and really say, okay, this is what I was supposed to get. It might be something random. You might be sitting 2 weeks from now seemingly over the situation, and it's going to play back in your head because that's how we are as people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to play back.
Big facts.
Right. And you might be thinking like, nah. Or something else, not similar, but somehow similar will happen. And how you respond to that is going to tell you, okay, boom, that's what I was supposed to get from that first incident. So, I mean, I think it's a process and it's going to take time. It's just more so you knowing that it's something that you like. We ain't about to be out here retaliating and looking for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, would I throw hands if I feel like I would, I'm not a violent man, but, it's just, man.
Either, but it's certain things.
And then when your mind goes and then starts remembering things like, oh, this is just like that last time and that time before that, and then there's a whole spiral. So I've been spending the last 20 hours trying not to spiral off my mind. I was asleep, I was fine. Then I woke up, I was brushing my teeth, and then the rush of the yesterday came back. I was like, oh, wait, right, that did happen.
I still got to deal with that process.
Now I'm in the shower mad all over again. Get out the shower sweating because not only was the water hot, but I was hot. I'll be like, well, get out of the shower sweating. Like, oh, I'm not in the sauna. Anyway, so today, she knows hot. It's hot outside here
It
in
is.
VA. It's a scorcher.
It is.
I don't ever think I said that's where I was at on my podcast.
No, I haven't. I just assume the people that watch me know
Right. But we got to, we got to
Yeah.
plan for the future
true.
when other
That's
people, start tuning
Mhm.
in, and we got that global reach. You
That's
know what I'm
true.
saying? So we got to give exact locations, but Virginia is a state. You can look it up on Google. That's where we at. And it's hot up here on the East Coast.
So they don't think it's about 95. If it's not 95, it feels like 95.
And it's the humidity.
Yes.
That's what makes it worse.
Yes.
If it was a dry 95, like out in Texas or
or Arizona,
yeah,
somewhere,
something like that, we'd be all right. It'd be like, just go stay in the shade. It'd be okay.
Not that I really want to go there either, to be honest, because I don't want to try it out to see. People tell me that, it's a dry heat, girl.
Look,
I might still be burning up. Wait a minute.
Look, last time I'm just like, hot is hot.
That part.
So last year when I was in Texas, I was there in the beginning of fall, and it was still hot. I was like, it's hot out here. Me and my brother and sister outside trying to run a race.
Absolutely not.
And we hot. Then me and my brother both pulled the muscle.
See? Absolutely not.
Oh my goodness. So today we were thinking about talking about gender roles. And we were going to make some notes.
We did.
And we didn't make any notes. But we're going to do this because I think we can pull up some scriptures as they come to us, or we need to look up something. Now, we're talking gender roles just in society, in relationships, those preconceived notions of what people, and a lot of times it's unbiblical. It's a societal thing, not a Bible thing. And sometimes we say, well, the woman did this and the man did that in the Bible. And so thus, and then I think we add on a whole lot of things because, so let's go all the way back to the beginning when God made Adam and Eve. God gave Adam a whole bunch of stuff to do. Tend the garden, take care of the animals, name the animals. Made Eve to be his helpmeet. I don't think he gave her.
I was going to say, I don't think she had anything specific. I don't ever recall saying, okay, Eve, so you're going to do this. It's just you're going to help him you're going to help him.
In whatever way he needs.
So you're going to help him. Whatever that looks like.
That was very broad. And I think that was on purpose. Again, with even when it came to the fall, as Adam tried to be like, oh, well, the woman you gave me, like trying to make it God's fault too. Like, but I told you. So you were supposed to smack that apple out of her hand, sir. Or at least not eat it. She didn't bid it, let her eat it by herself. Don't you do it. But here we are. So let's start with that then. Let's talk about a man's role in society and relationships. We don't have to talk about society in general, but we can talk about relationships. Everyone likes to talk about relationships. Everyone either has been in one, wants to be in one, are in kind of a friendship relationship, even if it's not romantic. Even if you've never been married, maybe dated, things like that. And so, again, and we're coming at this from a biblical perspective, but I think, neither of us are theologians. Are you a closet theologian and
Absolutely
haven't told me you got concordances stacked up to the ceiling?
I know one scripture. That's it. I know Bible.
So take that in mind, listener, when, it's like, oh, well, go look up this stuff for yourself, come to your own conclusions. But I think there's some general things that we can talk about and say. Some of it will be opinionated. Everyone has one, but I think we're both coming from a good place. We're not saying this is the standard.
Right.
These are our thoughts on the matter. These are some things to consider as you are trying to walk it out with Christ, and if you're in a relationship trying to walk it out with someone else, right? So the man in the beginning was given all the rules and guides, and fast forward to today, I hear a whole lot of stuff online, a lot of discourse, round tables, interviews, this, that, and the other, where a lot of women are like, well, hey, if a man can't do this and can't do that, he's got to be able to do this, that, and he got to be able to
Yeah.
protect me. He got to be
Yeah.
able to feed me. He got to be able to clothe me, pay all the bills, this, that, and the
Get my
other.
nails done, get my hair done, take care of my kids while I sit home and do absolutely nothing, then he is not a man.
Now, do you think there's any merit in some of that?
I do think, well, okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Just speaking off of experience, I would say that could possibly differ based off of the relationship, right? Just speaking for myself, and I'll actually give a little bit of context of when we were having a conversation before, when I went into a whole spiel just saying, I want to be a damsel in distress in my next relationship. I don't want to have to think about nothing. I don't want to have to build nothing. I don't want to have to do anything that remotely reminds me of being masculine. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want to be any of the things. Now, in some situations, a woman could be doing all of those things, and maybe her man isn't doing anything at all, and that sucks, right? Because you two should be partners, and you're not. One person isn't doing anything,
right?
But then also there might be situations. I think a perfect example of it is you were showing me something that your brother had sent you, a saw that he had built, and you were saying like, well, actually his wife is the handy one, so it's a good chance that she built that. Now, so maybe in their household, she builds, maybe she cuts the grass, and he's in there cooking, whatever, right? I think it's more about the partnership. So I'm not going to say specifically, I'm not going to say I've never thought that way, right? But again, that's based off of my trauma and my experiences in my specific relationships where I felt like I had to do everything. In a healthy relationship, maybe the man is not going to always be the provider, or maybe he provides differently than financially.
Right.
Maybe both of y'all work and you just make more than he do. It doesn't make him less of a provider. You know what I'm saying? Should he be able to do things for you, get your nails done, do this, do that? Yes. But you should be able to do that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is definitely not biblical, what I'm getting ready to say, but, we speak a lot about men being bums, but women are bums too.
Yeah,
right?
I know
Women are out here homeless bums, not doing anything, not having anything going on for themselves, right? And some men, I don't know, so, maybe some men, I've heard some men say, I like a woman that ain't really got much going on. She's moldable. I can teach her. I can, make her whatever it is that I want to be.
And that's a red flag to me.
Right.
It sounds like you just want someone you can control.
That part. So, I just think, I think that there, a man does provide. I think a man does protect. I think that a man does do those things, but a woman does those things too in a relationship to a certain extent, because just like the Bible doesn't specifically say what Eve does, right? That's because there's going to be times where she provides comfort, right? It's not because it's not always about money. She provides comfort. She provides just that home, like she's making that house a home. You know what I'm saying? She's protecting him within the house. The man a lot of times goes out into the world and they deal with God knows what, right? Because you're a man, suck it up, you're strong. Don't cry, don't show emotion, don't do this.
Yeah.
So when they come home, the woman should be providing that safe space. If they want to just ball up and cry, they should be able to do that and never feel like less than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of that. So I think it really just depends on the relationship. But I definitely think that both should be bringing something to the table.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that, what you said about creating a space for the guy to just come home and just curl up and cry. Because we are humans too. Like we have, even though, and I'm about to start a campaign against it, but people, dudes be like, oh, I don't really have emotions. Yes, you do.
Right.
You do.
Right.
You might not understand them, but if you react a certain way, you talk about, oh yeah, no, because I'm gonna do this, that's an emotional response. That's not a logical, calm. Like if you bursting out, you ready to crash out, you ready to throw hands, whatever it is you say you're gonna do, that's an emotional response. That's not a thinking, hey, I'm gonna slow down, think. I'm letting them swing first and see what happens. I might be able to dodge and make them look stupid and just walk away. Problem solved. instead of just going all the way in. And I do think sometimes it gets overlooked because and then there's been a lot of discourse online about like not the lonely man epidemic, but something along the lines of like men are starting to talk more about their emotions and what they're feeling and how the things that people do make them feel, which is important because women all the time be like, well, what you said made me feel, even if that wasn't our intent or whatever the case may be. And then it's vice versa, flip flop, the same thing. What the woman can do, can say, look at you or whatever, can make you feel a certain way. You know, words are spoken, you know, or words are not spoken. That body language, tones, the lack of affection, whatever it may be. However, she chooses to punish him for whatever perceived slight, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, instead of just talking about it. You know, and I think we both, men and women, have to stop doing that to each other. You know, because everyone has problems. We're all broken, and I do think sometimes the burden of responsibility, and not even burden of responsibility. I think we need to change the narrative when it comes to things like I want to say breadwinner and all this, that, and the other, right? Because one, despite systemic, you know, issues that do prevent women from earning as much as men in a lot of places in the workforce and just in general, the opportunity, the capabilities that women can go start a business. Lots of women do start their businesses and are very successful and do make, and entrepreneurs don't have to work for no one else but themselves. Could probably hire their man or husband to go work for their company. But then as guys, you know, we want to get offended and think like we have to be the one bringing in the most money or bringing in the things that, and like you said, it's a partnership. And that's what Adam and Eve had. I think that's why God gave Adam instructions for this environment that he was in. Hey, this is how you do this. Don't touch that. Do touch these things. Go be fruitful and multiply, which was actually the most important commandment that he gave them. Go have fun. Enjoy this life that I gave you. Enjoy this existence that I've created for you. Enjoy existing. Just don't do, and we want to focus so much on the negative aspects instead of, you know, the positive of, you know, okay, well, guy, what is the woman doing for you that she's bringing? Now, if you can't say she's bringing, you might need to reconsider, because whoever you're with should add value to your life.
That part. Some kind of value.
You know, they can't just be a leech. That's not cute or attractive. Somebody out there like it, I guess, but even still, I think that's a symptom of a deeper problem for that individual. Why is it that you want someone that is totally dependent on you? Like, what have you experienced? What are you trying to compensate for? You know, that I can do this for this person, so this makes me feel a certain way. I feel better about myself. I feel like a man. I feel whatever, fill in the blank, you know. So, you know, I definitely think and especially I think in the church, you know, and it's no better oftentimes, right? You know, women can't preach, you know, women can't pastor, you know. Never saw anything explicitly prohibiting. You know.
Yeah, I never knew anything about that. I mean, and again, I've been to church. My mom had us in church when we were young. I did have a good 20-year span where I wasn't in church, but that wasn't something that I was really privy to until getting back into church and singing. And honestly, I didn't even really realize it was a thing, because at my church, the women, like our, you know, lady, she will get up there and give us a word. But I went to a co-worker's church, and it was given like a conference almost, and it was all women speaking. And so I went to talk to her later, and I was saying essentially like, you know, they were preaching, and she was like, yeah, they're not preachers. They can't go over this title. And I was like, why? We showed up. It was a women's event. They spoke a word. What's the difference? So that was actually something that I didn't even have an idea about, because I mean, are we serious at this point? At this point, women can get the same kind of jobs. Like, on an equality level, so many things have changed over the years. You know what I'm saying? God is going to use whoever He's going to use.
Right.
To get His word out and to spread the good news.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If there's no man around to lead,
right,
then He'll find a woman to lead.
Yeah. Right. And then even so you have to help me here. Wasn't there a woman in the Bible? She was a judge or something like that. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. Look,
what is her name?
We don't act like we get the sum total of all human knowledge.
Lady would be a little bit upset with me that I don't know. I know, but I don't know. What was her name?
That was Deborah.
So that's what I'm saying. So if we go way, way back when we had a woman who was a judge, who people were coming to for counsel and things like that, what is the difference? You see what I'm saying? You trust somebody to give you counsel and to, pretty much tell you what's right or wrong and make decisions, and they couldn't move and go do this and go into this battle unless she went along with them or whatever, but then they can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't speak. Or like going back to the gender roles as a whole, when we speak of, like I said, again, me wanting to be that damsel and me wanting to not want to do anything, comes from just previous relationships and the role that I played and not being happy with that. But, shame on me for putting up with that. But realistically speaking, when we think about it, any woman who feels as if they shouldn't really play like an important role in like decision making or anything outside of, you know what I'm saying, cooking, cleaning, and being pampered, we'll say, right? There are women in the Bible who were heavy hitters in making decisions. And if you think about it, decision making in the relationship is huge.
Yeah.
Even if we're going to say the man is the head, right? The man is the head of the family. Okay, he's still relying on you to help him make those decisions. Even if you're just saying, well, babe, let's think about it from this way. I see you saying, and we'll even say, ultimately, it's your decision. I'm going to respect whatever you choose. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to educate you in this from where I'm seeing it, because you're seeing it, from over here on the left. Let me tell you what I'm seeing over here from the right, because we have different experiences. We've been through different things before coming together. And then from there, because now you have all of the information, you can make a better decision. So, you know what I mean? Like, we should still be involved. Right.
Yeah. When it says the man is the head of the woman, it's not saying that he's better than her. Right. But they're part of the same body, so he's just a different body part, has a different function. The woman is just as vital. The head can't live alone without the rest of the body. The head is useless without the rest of the body. It's just a head, and that's why, I do love the scripture, because there's so many things you really think about in the way that God decided to give the message to people, how it was written out. Despite issues with translations and all those other kind of things, I still think the spirit and essence of what God is intending to relay to humanity still comes through. And that is that the man is not better. He's not before. He's just another piece of that overall whole organism, that just provides a different function. But every part of the man, there's so many scriptures that talk about, Christ is the head of the church, right? And we through his sacrifice, through his blood, we're joint heirs with him, right? But he serves a different function than the rest of it. We're all still needed, right? Now, granted, that's a little bit different because it's Jesus. That's God, so he exists by himself. But the analogy that what he's trying to express to us, he wants to be in partnership with us. He wants to walk and talk with us in the cool of the day like he did with Adam. Right? That's why he created us. I guess he could, I don't know. I have so many questions for heaven. Right. Like, could you not do that with any of the angels? They must have been busy. Was they always like, God, I know you want to talk, but I'm actually busy right now. So let me get back.
We need to be around to essentially, like I said, spread the good news. We are the ones who reach, our people at our job. the people who listen to our podcast. You know what I mean? Even if not that, like I said, my podcast isn't super holy, but I am going to talk about the Lord. I don't want to talk about my pastor.
Right.
You know what I mean? But those little things, those small gems, that is us getting that word out to more and more people. So that's why he needs the church. That's why he needs the people. Because, I mean, yeah, he could touch everybody. He could just make us do whatever. But we have a God of free will.
Mm-hmm.
So with everybody having their free will, he has those vessels who put things out there in the atmosphere for people to pick up. You know what I'm saying? And to just plant those seeds, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, he gave us the ability to ignore him.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Says, okay, fine. I'll send someone else who you want to ignore. All right.
That part, because there's going to be somebody.
You can't help but see me because they represent me.
If it's the person that you watch on the podcast, I'm gonna get to you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's whatever you watch on social media, I'm gonna get to you. If it's the little girl on the video, I'm gonna get to you. There's gonna be somebody that's a vessel that you are unable to turn away from.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
Because once he puts a calling on you, I mean, you're gonna do it.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna take some time, maybe, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And back to the gender roles before we get too far off. I just want to also mention too that I think there are a lot of dudes out there that have to deal with a lot of issues that they have with women in general that probably stem back to their mother or another female figure in their life that either hurt them or wasn't there for them, because you need both your mother and father, but or at least a very positive and strong male and female figure in your life, because I think they both bring something different to the rearing of a new human being.
Absolutely.
All right, because if you're only around dudes, then you might just be exceptionally hard for no reason. You know, you might not know how to. Like I remember my mom, you know, she used to always really get on me when I was little to talk. All right, you know, because I wouldn't talk about my emotions. I wouldn't talk about how I was feeling, and you know, I guess apparently my dad struggled with that when they were younger. They got married like when they were like 19, 20, something like that. And she was like, no, you're not going to do that. Or you went through that once with your father. I think I remember her saying those exact words. And like, no, you talk, Vinny, talk to me. And it got me, you know, and my dad was never, men don't cry, you know. And as he matured and got better control of things and understood and made some decisions on what he was and was not going to do, he passed that along to me, my brother, in terms of, you know, showing us affection and things like that, and talking to us and letting us know that it was okay to express ourselves and this, that, and the other. He never once said, don't tell me or don't tell your mom, you know, because you a man, you know, and men don't do this. He said men don't hit women. You know, men don't lie. Real men don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, things like that. Don't, you know, treat people badly. But, you know, not anything that's a twisting of the role that God intended for us to have. And then I see too, and there's so much out there in the world today that is counterproductive for both men and women in being who God has intended them to be. And I think that's what's important. Who God and what God has intended you to be. Not even who your parents say you are supposed to be, or not even society, or all the things. Because then, one, you got to have a realistic expectation of yourself. And then and manage those expectations. Just like you're going to have expectations of someone outside yourself, a man or woman or whatever, in terms of engagement, interactions. And if you're trying to be married and things like that, you know, having a realistic expectation of your husband or your wife, one that's based in reality, not fiction, not a fantasy, not a oh well, this is how those people do it. That works for them for whatever reason it does. And if you're finding friction and this, that, and the other over there, okay, then you should try something different, because I wholeheartedly believe.
Yeah. To be honest, you know, I mean, because I was gonna say, I was thinking like a lot of times you learn what a relationship should be like based off of your parents if you're lucky enough to have both parents,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, again, I didn't have both parents in the household. My mom was married at some point, and I did see how she interacted with my stepdad and stuff like that. But then I was also thinking, but that's what works for her
Mm-hmm.
and her husband, or whoever, or like my sons, they've grown up with at least both of their parents in their lives. We were together almost until they were young adults, right? But again, what we displayed and what we did, how do you know that that works for you? Sometimes we model, and we do that just in society, social media, all over the place. You see all of the things. You say, that's what I want, that's what it should be. But does it actually work for you and who you are and her and who she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, again, using your brother as an example. You go into a relationship and you say, I'm the man, I should do this. But if she's bad at it, then go ahead and let her do it.
Right.
That's better for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Maybe she loves to paint and do whatever, and you love to cook or whatever. I mean, even down to maybe based off of your fields, right? Maybe you going to school as a man, you going to school right now and you stay home with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she's working and doing whatever. If that's what works for you, then that's what you should be doing. Like, forget what anybody else is doing. And most importantly, forget what they think.
Right.
Because as long as y'all are a unit and it's working, you're still being who God created you to be. You're still procreating, you're still raising healthy children that are going to be productive citizens, right? I think we get caught up a lot of times in just making sure we're doing either just because or we're doing what somebody else is doing instead of, like I said, working on ourselves and seeing what we actually need, pouring into ourselves first and having that baseline instead of getting with these people and then thinking these people are going to make you happy or whatever you have going on is going to make you happy when you already got to be happy. And then come together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So a lot of people do think being in a relationship with being with someone is going to make everything better.
It doesn't. It probably amplifies
it compounds it.
Yeah.
10, 100-fold. You're like, bro, why?
Yeah.
Why are you this way?
Right.
My life was peaceful before you came around.
It's going to make you, I've heard people say, and I can say this, kind of, I was in a married, not married, but I was in a 17-year relationship. It's going to point out whatever your shortcomings are when you're with a person and y'all are trying to stick it out. And y'all can be as in love as you want to be. It's going to bring those things to light. If you're not a good communicator, okay, when you're by yourself, how much are you talking to yourself? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when you're with somebody and you're used to shutting down and not talking, now they say, well, what's wrong with you? You got your face balled up. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And you don't want to talk. Now that communication, that's an issue because you have to consistently consider the other person. So whatever it is that you have going on within you, if you don't take the time to work through that and have an understanding of it, you're gonna feel like this person is like picking at me. They're, getting on my nerves. They're out of my business, but you are their business.
Right. And even with communication, and when I was married, I struggled with that a little bit in terms of being clear and worrying about saying the right thing or wrong thing, whatever. Still a problem. Mm-hmm. Growing, trying to get better at it. But I think people have to, one, accept the method that, like, if someone is trying to communicate, like, let them communicate the best way they know how. At least they're talking, or they're trying to say, even if it's, I need some time to process this. And I this is one thing I had to learn. Like, my ex used to tell me sometimes, I just need time to process it. Okay, cool. And I've heard other people over the years say that about their spouse or whatever. It'd be the man or the woman. Yeah. Like, hey, I just need to let me work this out in my head first. Because one, they're trying to make sure they're not, going off on you, or they're trying to give their thoughts, whatever. Give them that necessary space. Like, make room for one another's faults. You might you might be the man or the woman in the relationship, and you want your partner to be like, well, no, just tell me, just open up, just come on, spill it. That they're just not ready to yet. Maybe they're uncomfortable with that. Maybe they, whatever it is. But I think it's important to just say, okay, I'm here to listen when you're ready to communicate, and just let it be that. Especially if it's not, something that needs to be talked about right then and there. Right. Some people fall in the habit of like, no, we're gonna talk about it right here and now.
Right.
Like maybe.
And then when it blows up and y'all in there fighting.
Right.
Yeah. Now you're like, well, why did you come to that? Because I told you I wasn't trying to talk right now. I need to cool off first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a decision. You want them to make a decision right then and there. And like, okay, well, I know I'm a thinker sometimes. Now I can't overthink.
Same.
And I do probably 80% of the time. But that's part of my process. So if I say, okay, let me gather all the facts, let me gather all the things, get my own questions answered before I make a decision. And sometimes, it is a little bit out of fear of doing the wrong thing, because I don't like negative consequences. I mean, who does, right? But I really don't like them. And so I'm going to try to avoid it as much as possible, by, okay, I think I've set up all the contingencies and this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm ready to go. Right. Now, sometimes you need someone to say, hey, okay, well, this is kind of a important matter. This needs to be executed sooner rather than later, But I just think it's making room for one another. Like, don't have a lot of preconceived notions, and we all have them, right? I think it's letting go of that, allowing God to redefine it for you. Like, God brings a man into your life, and you're like, oh, you want to be dancing on express? He brings, bro along, and he's got like 60% of the things, and 40% you might need to help him with.
Right.
God's like, but
you got to be willing to work with that 40%.
Right, because this is. We are all, ain't nobody, it might be able to, whatever value he adds to your life, should make, while you add up and pick up the slack for that 40% that he's weak in. Yeah. And he picks up for your 30% that you're weak in. But y'all 100% make each other 100% good. And then trust is established and all the things, so.
Yeah. And realistically speaking, that I know for me, I am a strong woman. I haven't always been strong, but my experiences and life being as it has been has made me strong, right? And so I look back and I say, I'm tired of being strong. I don't want to say I'm strong. I don't want to be independent. But realistically speaking, the person that is for me needs a strong and independent woman. Not so he doesn't have to play whatever part he's supposed to play, right? But every man doesn't want that woman that's super moldable and don't know nothing and need somebody to help them along all the way. But my person probably is somebody who's going to say, well, babe, what you think about that? Because I think something about everything. You see what I'm saying? I am a natural advisor. Right. You know what I mean? And that's how God made me, right? Every experience I've been through, it hasn't been a coincidence. We talked about that. It hasn't been a coincidence. It hasn't been just because. It has been to shape me into who I'm supposed to be for the people that I'm supposed to interact with.
Right.
So, realistically speaking, by saying, I want to be something completely different than I am. Because everything I named, I am so far from that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me to even say that, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like saying, almost like, Lord, I don't even appreciate what you've done for me. I don't even appreciate how you've created me because, like I said, I'm not being that person. One, I'm not going to be able to maintain it forever.
Yeah.
Because.
Look, I just had a thought. Is it that you want to be the damsel in distress, or do you want peace?
So, I have peace.
Okay.
I don't want to, like I said, and again, this is the trauma speaking.
Right.
I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like I have to do it all, right? Because in most situations, I think everything through. I make sure everything happens. If can't nobody do it, I can. And that gets exhausting. So a lot of times I always say, like, where is me for me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's me, but like I said, that's trauma speaking because those are situations I've been in before.
But I do think, and well, it's not unfortunately, I know a lot of women like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm tired of having to be strong. Like, it's not that you're incapable or you don't want because hey, this is how I'm wired or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm ride or die. This is who I am. You know, but you want to be able to. Someone say, hey, sit down, don't worry.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Not all the time, because then you're going to be like,
no,
get antsy. You're going to be like, I need to do something.
So I need to
like,
do something.
That's the other part, right? You're like, I'm going to let you do a little bit for like a couple of days, but on day 3.
See, I don't like how you're doing that. Let me go ahead and do it. You see what I'm saying? But it's the idea of a lot of times I feel like, and like I said, this is in life in general. This is not even specific to a relationship. I just feel like I can't drop the ball. You know what I mean? I've had family members tell me, like, you're so motivated to do whatever it is that you need to do and get done. And it's because I honestly feel like if I don't do it, who else is going to do it? It's not going to be done. And if I'm not on top of it, then whatever I have going on falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I say that, it's because I'm hoping that somebody is going to come along and say, girl, go ahead and let your hair down. Mm-hmm. And you ain't got to worry about it today. And on top of that, they're actually going to mean it and do all of the things.
Yeah, follow through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just that for me. And I feel like typically when you meet somebody, you can kind of tell in the conversation if they're strong, how they carry themselves or whatever. And from what I've seen, people just kind of sit back like, oh, well, she got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I be going, I don't got it.
Like, no, help
me.
Help me.
I don't got it. I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. And then also, we talked about this before, like the Proverbs 31 woman, she won't no bump.
Right.
She won't really a damsel in distress. She won't sitting back saying, husband, do all of the things. She was doing, you know what I'm saying? She wore nice clothes, but she made them.
Even Boaz and was it Ruth?
So look it up, but you know I can't.
Look, we ain't gonna be up in here lying.
I can't pull nothing. But yeah, we be having
Ruth. Yeah. So women be like, oh, I want my Boaz woman. They want that come in and sweep, but she was out there working.
That part. She won't sitting back.
She wasn't waiting to get.
Yeah.
She was at first like, wait, hold up. Like, you actually, I'm not the one you want.
That part. I know you ain't coming for me because I'm over here working. I don't know if you're ready for what I got going on over here. Right. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to remember, right? A lot of times we waiting for somebody to come change our lives or do all of the things. You go ahead and you do that, right? You go ahead and you do it. And somebody's going to come and add to that because, again, it's very, very important that I'll say, especially as women, that we know that we do need to bring value as well. And I'm not talking sexually. Let's take appearance, let's take sexual, all of that off. Right, you know what I mean? Because that don't last forever.
Right.
If something happened to you today and you sick with cancer or whatever, and your man can't do none of the things with you, are you still? I hate to say, are you still worth anything?
Right.
Like that's what it's about, right? Yeah. You've got to bring something to the table other than your physical, because to be honest, that's not even. Is it nice to have? Yeah, but that's not what your man needs from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He needs what's on the inside. Like, are you ugly on the inside?
Right.
Right? Because that's, you know what I'm saying?
Because if all he can get, and vice versa, if all the individual can get is physical, they can get that from anywhere. They'll get it from you, and then the real stuff they need from someone else, in addition to some physical stuff, because that makes it that much better. So, you know.
What you really have going on, what you really have going on is what you have, like what makes you unique is what you have on the inside. We all look good. We all got like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it all depends on whoever like when they look at you, whatever. But it's what you have on the inside that makes you pure, that makes you beautiful, that makes you handsome, that makes you unique. So what do you have that's going to make that man or woman say, we've been together for 20 years and I can't find nobody like her or him because of who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what you're bringing. And it's not necessarily monetary. There's no one specific thing, and that's the whole thing about knowing and playing your part, right? It's based off of what your person needs or you need, and that changes over time, right? Y'all been together for 20 years. What made y'all, mesh or whatever at year 1, it's not going to be the same in year 5, in year 10, or whatever. It changes. Yeah, you have to be willing to change.
Yeah. While I don't believe in evolution of animals and all that, we ain't come from monkeys, but people evolve. Like we change and grow, and relationships evolve and change and grow and become something different than what it started off as.
Right.
Right,
because you grow up. Think about it. If you forgive for somebody at 17, if you're the same person at 30, what is the problem?
Right.
We should all. That's what you see what I'm saying. So you can't like all of the same things at 30 that you did at 17, 18. So as you change, as you mature, as you learn more, you're going to change, and that's what it's about. Y'all growing. So like I said, you might have started off like, this is what I typically do and this is what he do, but as time goes on and our paths change and life changes or life happens, that's going to change, and we have to be willing to just be on board for all of that.
Right.
Really. You just got to say, I'm just here for whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I think trying to adopt what that other person brings, that like part of their personality, right? We need to stop trying to change folk, right? It's one thing to encourage them to be better and let go of things that are damaging to them as an individual and is damaging the relationship or whatever. But it's different to say, well, I don't like that thing because I just don't like it, or I don't understand it. So thus I don't like it, and thus I don't want it. Well, then you must not want them, because that's part of who they are. It's like intrinsically, sometimes intrinsically part of their character, right? Like, yeah, they might like fixing cars, but what is it? It helps them think. It maybe gives them work with their hands. It's sometimes can be more than just the action or the act or whatever it is they're participating in. It feeds another need. Now, maybe understanding what that is, and then maybe finding something else that, even if that's not your thing, well, let's try this other thing that might fulfill that also. Let's see if we can enjoy it together.
Right.
But I still do think people, especially in a relationship, need to think, hey, this is my thing. I like to do myself.
Right.
Like some me time.
You gotta have that separate. You gotta have separate time. You have to have that healthy separation, I guess, of just being like, this is what I do. Like, I know you like to play. I play the game. Maybe your girl like to read.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all in the same space. You don't talk at all. You clicking away, do all the things. She reads her book silently. Right. You still having quality time because you together, but you ain't paying each other no mind. That is so healthy. That's so healthy to be able to enjoy each other's company, but then also enjoy being away.
You don't have to be breathing the oxygen out of each other's mouth.
Right, all day long. And actually, some people like to do that.
Right.
And if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. And one other thing, not speaking towards personality. Let's say you meet someone and you meet them and y'all always get drunk. Or you meet them and they dress a certain way. You cannot get with them and then be like, you drink too much. I don't want you to do that. I'm ready to stop. You need to stop. Or actually, you was looking real good to me at first, but now I don't want you to put that stuff on. Because that's changing someone. Can they change one day? Yes.
Yeah.
But they have to want to do that, right? And like we can't change nobody but ourselves. And if somebody don't want to do it, then they don't want to do it. And realistically speaking, when you get with somebody, you have to say, this is the package that is in front of me. This is the whole entire package. There might be some things that are less favorable, but you got to decide right then and there, can I accept everything I see and get right now, because this could be it forever. And if you can't, you walk away. But trying to change them, all you're doing is hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because every day you're going to get on, why you still drinking? Why you still putting it on? Because that's what I've been doing.
Right. You liked it at first. Like, I don't see.
So you got to manage them expectations. Right?
Yeah.
And just decide, like, again, wherever your man is today, wherever your woman is today, could I live with him being like this forever? Is what she doing? Am I okay with that? If this today, what she showed me today, if this was the same thing for the next 30 years, am I cool with that? If not, pack your stuff and get on up out of there.
Amen.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah. No, big facts. Look, I don't think anything needs to be said after that. We've been 50 minutes now.
Okay, 50 minutes.
We're trying to push that hour.
At least we didn't say I won't be before you long.
No. We came in here like, I don't know. We're going to see how this goes. Well, we won't belabor the time anymore. We thank everyone for joining us today. If you listened the whole time, we really appreciate you. Hope our conversation and discourse was of value to you. You gleaned something from it. Although it just kind of feels like, we should be here talking to each other.
Running out of mouth.
But for the Holy Forge podcast, I thank you for joining us. Next time we do this, we will be on Sheena's podcast. And I have agreed to let her ask me some tough questions.
Yes, I'm going to be all in his business, y'all.
I'm nervous. But it's important for me to tell my story and help hopefully someone, because I've met a lot of brothers gone through what I've been through, maybe getting ready to, you're in the midst of it. There's help, there's support, we're here for one another. I think Sheena just wants to be nosy, honestly.
Yeah, you better know me. You better know me.
I might have to screen the questions and be like, Sheena, you can't answer
that. We're going to take this out.
Like, no, I thought we were supposed to be authentic, man. You can't be
somebody.
Right? But I'm here for it. So I thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, afternoon, evening, or if you're getting ready to go to bed. Have a good night's sleep. Get ready to grind again tomorrow, because hump day is over. Or it might be over for you already. You're into Thursday. Mm-hmm. All right. So we will tune in. We'll be back in probably 2 weeks for a collaborative episode. In between then, check out Sheena. Sheena, shout out your show, please.
It's the Let's Talk About Life podcast. You can find me on YouTube.
And just on YouTube, yep.
Yeah, just on YouTube right now. The way you said that, I feel convicted. I need to put her somewhere else.
Look, I was like, I know she's on YouTube, and I was like, no, it's just YouTube. And always, I'm on Spotify. I have started a YouTube channel for the Holy Forge podcast. I have email address, holyforgepod@gmail.com if you want to drop a line, praise report, story you want to share, anything, send an email. And I will also be starting an Instagram where I'll be...
Oh, we need to talk about that.
Yeah. I'll be doing stuff from the car now as I'm going to and fro, and I'll be having random thoughts, because I'll be having random thoughts. And I'm like, someone should be here to listen to this. That was good. You just tell you, that was good.
That's good.
And then someone listens, you're like, bro, that was way wrong. That's oh no. All right, everyone. We'll tune in. Take care. God bless.
Bye, y'all.